Hi, I'm Heather from Heather Handmade. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about all of my favorite free baby sewing patterns. So when I started sewing, a lot of it was when my kids, who are now older, were little, and I loved making little baby clothes and baby items, but we were living pretty cheap and I couldn't buy any of the really nice patterns, so I was looking for a lot of free sewing patterns, and I actually put a post together when my oldest, it was probably like 10 years ago, that I put the post together with all of these free patterns because it was something that I was looking for and I wanted to share that good luck with other people. I have since created some of my own free sewing patterns for babies and added that to the list and taken some off that aren't available. This list has just kind of changed a lot over the years. So I'll talk about my favorite ones today. You can go over and look at the list to see if it's changing at all, but it's so fun to sew for babies because they're tiny. You can use up your scrap fabric. The proportions of the little items you sew are just so fun. So I know a lot of people don't like sewing for babies because they stain everything and they grow quickly, but I personally find it fun as long as I don't make heirloom items. I do make quick and easy things, but then they get a lot of use and then you can throw them away when your baby has ruined them and you don't have to, be sad about it. The best fiber, if you're looking for fabric to sew for babies, the best fiber to use, which is kind of like the makeup of the fabric, it's not what the fabric is called, is cotton, just because it's breathable, it's washable, it's really great for kids. There's some other fabrics that also are okay for babies, but I honestly really just stick to either a woven cotton or a knit cotton because I think that cotton is the best for babies. All of these patterns that I talk about are PDF sewing patterns. PDF sewing patterns are patterns that you download the digital version, print it off, tape it together, and then you can use it like a regular pattern, but then you always have a digital copy in case you lose it or ruin it, then you can always print it off again. So let's get into my favorite free baby sewing patterns. My favorite one, this is actually what I use every time I go to a baby shower or there's a new baby and I make a gift, just because it's fast but it looks really nice, are these leather baby shoes. So I developed this pattern over years and years after making all of these baby gifts and fun things and using leather shoes for my babies. I was pretty picky in what I wanted the shoes to look like and how I wanted them to work, and I wanted to make them really easy to sew. So I developed this pattern to be pretty easy to sew, and it only uses a little bit of fabric or a little bit of leather, which you can get from like the thrift store. You can get like a leather purse and use all the pieces, or a leather jacket, so you don't need to buy a hide of leather. I just think they look really cute and they work so well for babies. And this pattern is by me, so you can go find that on my website. I really love bibs for babies. There's lots of different styles, and for the ones, like if you have a baby that is like drooling a little bit, like constantly drooling, or just kind of like spitting up a little bit, which one of my babies was, and so her shirt was always wet and I'm sure it was, irritating to her skin. And so I would make these bandana bibs to kind of like, she wore them, it like looked like a scarf. Not that she's a baby, who cares really what she is wearing, but that I could switch these out instead of changing her whole shirt because it would protect her shirt. And so I probably had 15 of these, and we were just constantly rotating and washing them to make it work and protect her skin. So I think they are a little more comfortable than like a rounded version. They're just a little bit cuter, but I love these. I would recommend using some interfacing inside to make it so that they don't wrinkle so easily, because nobody wants to iron baby clothes. So you can find that pattern on my website. If you have a baby that spits up a lot, you will want a burp cloth. So I have this version. It is a big oval. It does not scoop in on the side, which was a personal preference because I just wanted the burp cloth to be bigger, but it just sits like this. I wanted it to come up close here. It's big, it covers my whole shoulder. It's easy to sew because it's like a big oval, so there's no corners. So I like making these out of flannel so that they're more absorbent. You can even put extra layers inside to make them even more absorbent, but these are the best. I love a really good burp cloth. If you want more of a classic bib shape, you can do this one. So I have this one on my website. There's like you can do a pocket on this one or just one like this. I do recommend if you're doing this one, this is out of waterproof fabric. So you would not need to use interfacing since that waterproof fabric is already kind of stiff. And you don't want to be ironing onto your waterproof fabric. But this one is great for like when they're eating and it's catching some crumbs, but then it wipes off and it's easy to clean. If you want this one that is kind of more just for catching liquids and kind of protecting a shirt, I would recommend using interfacing for this one because you don't want to be ironing. But this is just a great classic baby bib shape. You can do the pocket or no pocket. And there's so many fun fabrics that you can choose from. One of the patterns I developed that I love, it's very close to my heart, is turning an adult t-shirt into a baby romper. And so there's a 6 months version that is free on my website, and I have made, I don't know, 25 of those. I've made so many for all of my kids and I love them. I love using them. I love seeing an adult logo on a little baby tummy. I just think it's so fun. But I've also created a bigger pattern that has like sizes 3 months to size 2. So then you have lots of different sizes, but that is a pattern that you need to purchase. But you can always just use a 6 month size. I think the 6 month size is really just the perfect size for babies when they're kind of starting to crawl and sit up, and they can wear this great romper. Another pattern that I developed that I love using is baby shorts, and it's ones that you kind of upcycle, so you reuse the hem of the original adult item. So like, but that one is so versatile. You can use knits, wovens, you can use jeans, a skirt, a dress, a t-shirt. I mean, I've used it with everything and it has turned out great. So I love using those baby shorts. A knit t-shirt, you can actually add elastic to the hem and you create little bloomers. I also have an upcycled baby shoe pattern, which is like you take the hem of jeans, so that hem becomes the casing, like for the elastic for the shoes. I chose to, I made it work with denim because you wanted a fabric that's like strong and stiff for the baby that's walking, but you don't want it to be uncomfortable. So like a pair of worn-in jeans is great to make baby shoes because it's durable and strong, but it's still soft for the baby's feet. When I was working on the t-shirt romper pattern, I had the idea of turning like a men's shirt, like a men's button-up shirt, into a romper, and that was a lot harder to create. But I have a 6 months, actually I think it's a 12 months. It's a 12 months free sewing pattern to make that one, and that one you can choose like a collar, and you know, it really looks kind of almost like a button-up shirt for kids, like if you need it for like church or a wedding, if you want them to be a little bit dressier. It works really well for that, but it's a romper, so the kid can still play and have fun. And I've made that into a pattern with multiple sizes and multiple views and everything. So that is a pattern you can also go and purchase. The last pattern of mine that I'm going to talk about is this upcycled baby blazer or suit jacket. It's like you take an adult blazer and cut it down to size, add some bias binding trim, and you create a really just a cute little suit jacket. I love this one. I did this for my son when he was little, and then I've, you know, fixed the pattern since. And so you can get that one on my website. Some other patterns I'm going to talk about. So these are other people's patterns. There is a baby onesie. It has a really cute kind of crossover neckline to make it easy to get that on the baby's head. And it's by Omi Creates. This one I love. I have used a lot in the past when my kids were babies. And it's just so fun. It's so cute, and it has the cutest little edging, but it really looks like a baby onesie that you would buy at the store. I really love making diaper covers for little girls for little babies. I made so many for my 2 little daughters when they were babies, and we used tons. We went through so many, and they got stained, they got dirty, whatever, but they're really fast to make, really easy, and you get to use really fun quilting cotton fabric to make those. Something that I think is the best for little babies is little leggings. That's something, when I had winter babies, I loved leggings to keep their little legs warm, but they're so fast to sew, so easy, and they're really cute because they're just so tiny. So I prefer to do it where I reuse the hem of a t-shirt to make the hem easier, but this version from Coral & Co, you do need to do the hem, but they're like half an hour. They're really fast sewing projects. The last one I'm going to talk about is this baby peasant dress by So Much Ado, and it is a very fast, a very easy baby dress, but it's very easy to get on because it has elastic at the neckline. So I've made this for my daughters multiple times when they were babies. I love it. It's very simple. You could try to make it out of knit. It would work with knit or woven fabric, and it's really great for the summertime, but you can layer it for the wintertime, so it's very versatile. Let me know in the comments which pattern is your favorite, which one you are excited to try. I can't wait to see all of the baby projects that you make. Please share them with me on social media, and I hope you have a wonderful day.